So can we just get a quick introduction, kind of who you are, what your job title is?
Sure. My name is Alan LaFave. I'm the festival director and board president for the House Half Mile Film and Music Festival.
Perfect. Well, it's great to meet you. Kind of how long have you been the director of this festival?
Well, I'm one of the founders. I started it back with some friends back in, the idea of it back in 2005, and our first festival was in 2006.
And how did the House Half Mile Festival originate, and where did the title come from?
Yeah, so we actually saw the Traverse City Film Festival start back in 2005 and went to some other film festivals around Michigan and thought we could probably do this for our own community. And we got started with joining the Bay Arts Council, which is the arts organization that was here years ago, and kind of went under their umbrella. And when trying to figure out what to call the festival, a lot of festivals name themselves after the city that they're in, but Bay City Film and Music Festival didn't sound like too original, so I was just learning about the history of House Half Mile, which was in Bay City in the mid to late 1800s. Bay City was a large logging community, and at the end of the season of cutting down trees from the forest, all the lumbermen would come back by train to downtown, and they would get their paychecks, and they would go down to this half-mile strip on the waterfront on the Saginaw River in downtown, and they would, that's where all the gambling houses and saloons and brothels were, and they would blow their paychecks for the entire year, down there. And it was not a reputable place for a upstanding citizen of Bay City to go to, so they referred to it as House Half Mile. But the interesting thing was some of the reputable businessmen of Bay City also dug catacombs so they could secretly go to some of these places. Yeah, so it sounded very irreverent and very independent, and it kind of matched the spirit of what we were trying to do, which was to bring independent film and indie music to Bay City.
And what do you feel makes this festival unique out of all of the other kind of film and music festivals in Michigan or even in the world, since you guys just got that recent award?
Oh yeah, as you were saying, we were named one of the 25 coolest film festivals in the world in 2023 by Movie Maker magazine. And there aren't really a lot of film and music festivals. They'll have some film festivals that will have a music component or just some entertainment at parties, but we try to integrate it in a much bigger way. But that was from the very beginning. We wanted it to be film and music because that's what we were passionate about. Perfect.
And how has the festival evolved since it was created?
You know, obviously the content changes every year. So that makes it fresh and new every year too. But more and more people in our community are getting what this is about. So we have bigger audiences every year. So we started out with probably maybe 600 people total coming the first year to our biggest year was somewhere close to 4,000. So adding the receptions, adding the jury awards and the audience awards, and doing different panels and workshops for filmmakers or wannabe filmmakers. That's how it's changed over the years, just all these different facets to make it that much richer. And we're an all-volunteer festival, so it's a lot to do for a lot of people who are just passionate about bringing something good to their community.
That's amazing. And has there been any kind of special events or workshops that accompany the film screenings and performances?
Yeah, we do a Q&A after every film that has guests attending. Like I'll actually be doing an intro and Q&A shortly for a film, and I'll be doing that tonight for our closing night film as well. And we did a filmmaker panel on storytelling this morning at Populous Coffee, and that's always fun to do. I love doing that. And then we didn't do a workshop this year, but we hope to bring that back in future years.
And in the last 18 years, can you think of a time in House Half Mile history that really stands out to you?
Oh, wow. I don't know. We've had so many really interesting guests attend, and I think that's what makes it interesting. The filmmakers who come and get to meet each other and then go off and make projects together because they met here. That's pretty fascinating to me. And then just the relationships that the filmmakers have built with some of our audience members. You know, last year we had two filmmakers. Both of these women had been to our festival. That was their fourth time. And just to have all of these people who want to return with their next projects come to bring those to our audiences is just really fantastic.
Yeah, the big community that it builds.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to an aspiring filmmaker or musician who wants to get their work featured in Hell's Half Mile?
Wow. Okay. So, musician-wise, that's a tough one because we were just looking for a lot of independent, different types of different types of music from garage rock to synth pop to rap to it's just all over the board. It's just do something very interesting and original, something that's true to yourself. And the same thing for filmmakers. It's you really have to hone your vision and bring a different perspective, even if the story is something very familiar and well known. You just have to bring something fresh and new to it. It doesn't have to be big stars or intricate plots or anything like that. It just has to have something that you bring that's unique to it.
And so my last question here is, what would you say to someone who's on the fence about attending next year's event?
I'll tell you what, just come one time. You can get a voucher for one free film and just try it out. And I guarantee not everyone loves everything they see, but that's okay. That's why we do a wide cross-section of different types of films. But I can tell you that most people, when they come, once they do that, they'll stick around.
So can we get an introduction with who we're here with today?
All right, I am Rob, and this is my second year volunteering for the film festival.
Perfect. What made you want to volunteer with Hell's Half Mile?
Just to be more involved with the community and to meet new people from all different areas coming into town, seeing the different movies, and it's just a great community to help out and be a part of.
Absolutely. So what has been your favorite part of Hell's Half Mile this year?
I would say all the familiar faces from last year and the new faces coming in around this year, and all the different people from just everywhere come around. So you get to meet people in your community, people just from different countries, everywhere, and it's just been, I would say it's the people.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we just saw that you got out of the show that just finished. Can you tell us kind of the title of that show and a little bit of a rundown of it?
So that was Hunting Days, and it was, I believe it was from Quebec, and it was absolutely mind-bending, amazing, perplexing, and I'm still processing it as we speak. So I think I'm going to be thinking about this one for a few days.
Yeah, amazing. Have you been able to go to any of the other showings?
I went to Riley yesterday, and that was also really good. A coming out story of a prominent football player in high school and the struggles that he goes through. But just more, it was I guess I've never seen a film like that, so it was just very interesting to see that perspective of what someone goes through and how tough life can be.
Absolutely. So how do you think that, festivals like Hell's Half Mile are important for this community?
I would say it brings so much life and vibrance, new faces, and just excitement to the community. And it is just so good to have people come here and explore Bay City and everything like that, because it's a great city, it has so much to offer, and everyone is just so happy to check it out when they come here. It's just great.
Absolutely. And my last question for you is, if there was somebody kind of on the fence about coming to Hell's Half Mile next year, what's one thing that you would say to convince them?
Don't even second guess it. You got to get here. You got to see the movies. You got to go to the events. Even just the hors d'oeuvres they serve at the events are enough to come here to try out. And everything else is so great. The people, the movies, everything is absolutely awesome.